Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel Why I Rise. Thank you once again for joining me. Please don't forget to like and share my videos, and also to subscribe to my channel. Today we're going to talk about as a young person, some steps you can take to help you better your life financially, right? And I think, oh, by the way, I haven't made a hair tutorial video in a long time, but this is my natural hair. I just twisted it, and this is basically the length where it's at right now on the side. Let's stretch this one out and see. Okay, so this is just some simple twists I made, but I think I'll be making a natural hair video pretty soon, so stay tuned and we can discuss about hair products, what I've changed, and what I think it's really working for me and my daughter. Okay, that's with the hair tutorials. So back to the topic of today. I basically want to talk to you guys about, as a young person, planning your life that puts you in a comfortable situation or comfortable environment once you get to your, let's say, adulthood, okay, or young adulthood, okay. I know, so right now there's a lot of platforms, even investing platforms, that's public, whereas before, especially speaking within Canada, before, in Canada, if you wanted to invest, it wasn't so easy. You had to go to the bank, and the bank, they would charge you, so be management of your investment now. And you had to have I think the minimum you had to have at the time was $1,000 minimum to invest, right? So if a bank personnel is managing your funds for your investing for you, and that's how it was before, they would charge you management fee plus it was a bunch of fees put together, so that made it very unattractive to me, at least, right? It made it very unattractive to me. But right now, there's a lot of investment opportunities platforms that, like, for example, Robinhood or Wealthsimple in Canada. We don't have Robinhood in Canada because I guess the regulations doesn't allow it to come this far, but we do have one called Wealthsimple, which allows you to start investing. Please don't take this as a financial advice. I'm not a financial planner or anything like that. It's just what I'm giving my opinion as to how a young person can plan their life so that they are more well prepared to be in certain situations when certain situations happen. I remember this book that I read. It talked about having an emergency fund as well. Okay, so that's that with investment. Now I'm on to emergency funds. When you're working, there's a certain way you divide your money. I think they said 10%. You pay yourself 10% of your income, no matter what. Pay yourself first, and then you also should have an emergency fund where, in case something happens, that you don't dip into your savings. So that's basically an emergency fund that you put a certain percentage in. Do what you can. Say 5% of every paycheck, you put it in an emergency fund. So in case you have an emergency and you can't work for like a month or two, you have a cushion to fall on, right? And not dip in your savings. That's another thing. Also think about having your own business. I always talk about owning your own business. I don't know what you're thinking or planning that you can do, but think of something. Be creative. Look in your area where you live. Look at what people are not using, or it's hard to get, for example, and provide that service. Whatever service that's lacking in the area where you live, think of a way to provide that service. Look at the need of the area, and then that will give you an idea of what you should be doing, right? So that's very important. And when you think about it, move on it. I know a lot of us are stuck in the phase of always coming up with ideas, always having an ideas and never executing one. Me, let me say, I was, and I'm coming out. I was one of those people. I'm slowly coming out, okay? Not slowly. I'm actually aware of it now. Because when you are aware that this is the type of person, they call it procrastinating, but when you're aware that this is the type of person that you are, you think you be conscious of it, be conscious that this is how I am and this is what I need to change it. So you plan and you make steps to change that, right? So if you're one of those people that always have ideas, always have full of ideas, but never executing even one of those ideas, or you may be a person who starts one of the ideas, or you start an idea and you don't see it through. Okay, so that's behaviors to look out for. If you have a lot of ideas, that means you've seen a need for sure. You've surveyed your environment, or you thought about this and you think this is something that you can do, and you think this is something you can be successful at. So always stick to it and execute it to the fullest. Don't just leave it at the thinking phase and think this is it. Okay, so because that's how you don't move forward in some ways, because you're always stuck at the having the many ideas level. Execute. And you know what, if you put it into practice and for some reason it doesn't become successful, it's not the end. Like, I personally know a man, very smart man, who has done many businesses in his lifetime, but he stopped. Not because it wasn't successful. He will stop one thing. I mean, he has his real estate agent license. He owns a few shops that sells hair products and whatnot. He has degrees. In how many degrees does he have? And he's always doing something different. So just because you leave one thing, because for some people that may say, okay, I've done one thing, it wasn't successful, and so I'm not doing anything more. Don't let that be. If you have one failure or a couple failures, so don't let it get you down. As long as you have the idea, execute your idea and stick to it for as long as you can. Even if you think that this business or this thing that I started is failing, stick to it for as long as you can. And you can do something else, not completely abandoning your first idea, but do it together, right? Do it together. If one business is not doing too well and you think you've stuck with it for as long as you can, instead of abandoning the idea completely, especially if you believe in it and you believe, say, it can work, don't abandon that business entirely and move on to the next. Just hold on to it on the side and, put your energy as well into another thing. Okay? So it's very important, say, when you think about the idea, you execute it to the fullest. Okay? That's an advice that I'm, taking for myself, that I've been trying to see things through before I move on and say, okay, I'm done with this, I'm not doing this again. So hope that helps. I hope you join me next time. And oh, by the way, guys, I want to tell you, I'm coming up with I'm going to be opening an online clothing store very soon. And the prices are really good, and a lot of styles to choose from. So when it's ready, I'm going to post the website address in the description box when it's ready, and you guys can check it out and order some stuff from there. It's going to be really good price. It's going to be amazing. Okay, the name of the store, I'll let you guys know when it's all ready and good to run. Thank you for joining me. I hope you find the time to join me next time. Bye.